Right, so this is the double-sided tape we're going to use. It's available from Bidvest Afcon, AFCON Bidvest, and the serial number for the tape is SA4700.
South African.
Yeah, it's a Bidvest, a local company, and yeah, it's available from them. Not all the shops stock it, but they can always draw stock from Joburg. I got stock in Welkom, so it must be quite readily available. Yeah, and this is the way to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Peter Steyn, stationed in Welkom. I'm a guild member, have been since 2006. Yeah, it's been a long ride from my first knife to where I am now, and I refer to this little friction folder as the finest friction folder ever. The technology behind this and the thought pattern is tremendous when you think that it's also used as a neck knife. So with that stainless steel clip, it just clips in to there. The bearing ball stops in the handle slab in the open position, so it can't go further than that. So from a safety point of view, I think that is adequate.
Okay.
There's a very sophisticated pivot pin with Chris Reeve bronze washers that have got holes all the way around. So the lubricant is captive. The lubricant doesn't disappear into the handle slab as is normally used on the open market. Yeah, it's a very fine little knife. This. We're going to go through the steps of not the blade, because the blade's a blade really at the end of the day. I want to show you guys the handle slabs, the way we get this all together. We're not using any epoxy. This is all held together by double-sided tape. Might be frowned upon, but there's nothing that sticks like this, because the epoxy does not stick to aluminium.
Okay, so there's no epoxy.
There's no epoxies, there's no adhesive other than this. This stuff really sticks. And it's quick, it's clean, it's neat, and we use it on all the handle slabs, whether it's fixed blade or folders. When I do it on the fixed blades, well, I shouldn't actually show you this.
It was just a test knife.
My customer tested this. It failed. As a lever, it failed. Fair knife, but it failed as a lever. Yeah.
It's not a lever, it's a
but
knife.
There you can see the construction. Whether it's folders or fixed blades, the handle slabs, all my knives, the handles on my fixed blades, the handle slabs are removable. So you can fix them, you can change them, you can repair them. Again, there's no epoxy in this knife, absolutely nothing, all double-sided tape.
Okay, let's do it.
Right, we're now going to start to show you the construction of the handle slab with all the laminates, as the Americans say, laminates. We use aluminium. It's you can use various thicknesses. I use 2 or 3 different thicknesses, not serious. And then the outside ultimate handle material, as we can refer to it. In this instance, we're using onyx acrylic, which really works well. It has a problem when you grind with it, but if you use a lot of water and you grind it wet, there's absolutely no problem at all, as you can see on that slab. Yeah, with anything, whether you going the old-fashioned way with epoxies and all sorts of weird things, the cleanliness of the material is what makes the difference. This is actually racing fuel because I get it for nothing. But you can use methylated spirits would work well, lacquer thinners would work well, but just to clean off the layer to get the aluminium back to a virgin material. I'm always scared there's some sort of releasing agent or something in the manufacturing process that would then not work well with any adhesive type of application. So we'll do that. That's cleaned up. That with the melamine, I use black melamine for the ultimate, the inside of the slab. That doesn't need cleaning because that's clean enough. And then we'll do just the one side of the acrylic. This will definitely have some sort of releasing agent on it because they cast the stuff. But cleanliness is the name of the game here. Oh, we'll use that. Smells like cane spirit, the stuff. Right. Now the magic happens. No hard and fast rule to this. The only thing, the way I do this is I roll it on so I obviate any bubbles that might form between the tape and the acrylic. You don't want that. Some layer around there. Now we'll put on the aluminium. Cut the stuff bigger. You know, you never know when you go off a bit, and it doesn't cost a lot of money, the stuff. I like to have a nice margin of safety. That's not serious. There we go. Now the melamine. The rolling on stops any air bubbles that might creep in there. Once we've done the lamination, the next step is to get the handle slab in in the press. Try and centralize it as much as you can. You really got to go very heavy on this, on the steel. You don't want these things to distort and to. It really has to be two completely flat surfaces that push against this material. We tighten that. Turn that to touch the job. I've pressed this thing already.
Yes. Okay. Put it there.
Okay. Just screw this out.
Yeah.
You say this is tight.
No, just double check. It's the release valve.
Go.
Working.
Right, this is now the final step in the construction of the handle slabs.
Yeah.
We put it in this mighty big powerful press. It's a 20-ton jack, and we press it. If I'm using an acrylic material or G10 or something that's very stable and hard, I can press it to 600 bar.
Yeah.
Times 14, that's quite a couple of PSIs. So come and look at the gauge.
Okay.
So here we go. And the reason for me pressing it so much is that nobody can tell me how much is enough. So if you don't know how much is enough, go all the way. Yeah, and that's it. The handle slab is ready to go onto the pantograph, be profiled onto the grinder to be shaped, and yeah, we're done.
Done. Okay, let's release it. Check it.
Yeah, no, the jack's fine now. There we go. No harm done. It's perfect and really awesome. Go.
Yeah.
Right, so we've got to the stage now where the pivot pin hole has been drilled, the fixer hole has been drilled. I've marked out the pattern of the slab just with a pencil. We now take these to the bandsaw and roughly cut that so that we can put these two together, one on top of the other, and put them on the pantograph and profile the handle slabs. You see, when we cut on the pantograph, we have to do it with the handle slab as it's going to be at the end. That on there. There. Go. Right, now, because the end mill is going to run, we're going to side just take a You see where the end mill's running. We're not going to plunge, we're going to end mill it. So first of all, we make the follower bigger. It's a 12mm follower, and we're using a 6mm cutter, which is a 2:1 ratio, but we put masking tape around the follower to make it bigger so that we can go in a little bit at a time. Right, that was our first cut. Now what I'll do is I'll unravel a third of this tape to make the follower that much smaller so we can take the second cut. Knock down that size a little bit more so that we take it gradually. Especially when you're working with wood, you want to go slowly. You don't want to just take one big bite because the wood seems to chip. Alright, we're back to the 12mm follower. Again, 12mm follower, 6mm cutter on a 2:1 ratio. We're now going to do the final cut. On a 2:1 ratio, all glued together, held together with double-sided tape. Perfect. Okay. Now the next step is this is one of my many fabrications. If you're going to do it more than 3 times, make a jig. And this is to profile, to shape the handle slab, not profile. We've just profiled it on the pantograph. We're now going to shape the handle slabs, and they'll both come out exactly the same. Perfect. There we go.
Okay, so
we just want to spray a bit of dishwash liquid on here, just to act as a lubricant, because we're sliding left and right on here. Just let's get that going a bit. Okay.
So you're going to put a belt on the...
Yes, belt will help.
Maybe just explain the motion or whatever without the belt first.
Yeah.
And then when the noise starts,
okay,
you can just do...
I'll just get this on the right spot here.
So where other guys will profile the blade, the edge, you actually do that now with the handle.
They're both exactly the same because they're round.
Yeah.
You know, it's that radius that I'm putting on them now. You see? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to shape the handle slab. It has a curvature, and that's the sort of radius, the movement of this arm. And because it's acrylic, it's a synthetic material. When we use G10 or anything that's really hazardous, we spray water on it. You can see that it's a mixture of water and compressed air, so it blows the bad stuff away and doesn't throw everything up into the air for you to breathe it in. So it's going to be a bit noisy, so yeah, see you later. I don't know if you'll see this, but it has a definite curvature in it, and the handle slabs taper from the front, from the pivot pin back to the back of the knife. So when I'm using G10 or anything with that sort of laminated material, you go through the layers, and it really gives it a very good appearance. But as for that, now it's finished to the stage where it now needs sanding and finishing, and the handle slabs are done, and it's absolutely the easiest thing out. Thank you. Perfect. This is my Jones and Shipman surface grinder that I've done the normal sort of modification that knife makers do on a surface grinder is to take off the grinding wheel, the abrasive wheel, and replace it with this arm, which allows you to use different grades of belts. What I've gone one step further, and I've removed the motor from inside the machine where you could never get to it to the outside where it's far more accessible, and this has really put this machine into another league. What I've also done is on the x-axis, I've automated the x-axis via a small electric motor mounted on the bottom here, and some limit switches and a drivetrain. So I have now automated the x-axis so that I don't have to babysit the machine. It just does its thing. The only thing I have to adjust is the depth of cut, which is not a problem because I just walk past and I'll just turn it up a couple of thou, and the machine just runs on its own, and it really gives me some awesome finishes. Even on a 360 belt, I can get very close to a mirror polish. When using anything but steel, the steel will stick to the magnet, but anything other than steel, I use the double-sided tape. The nice thing about this particular double-sided tape is the ease of removal. When we used the cheaper tapes, it was lacquer thinners and scrapers and all sorts of things to get the residue off. But with this tape, once you've stuck the G10 on there and you've done your cutting, the removal is absolutely magic. It's completely clean, there's no residue, so there's no cleanup afterwards, which I find to be a really big advantage. This tape is unbelievably strong, so that's the way to go.
Just say the tape's name and all that stuff again. It's
yeah.
That's it.
It's the cello double-sided tape, available from Bidvest Afcom. As I've said before, it's available sort of countrywide, but it's absolutely awesome stuff. There is a knife maker that told me he even uses this tape on his CNC machining. So, you know, all you got to do is just have an imagination and you can use this tape all over. Thank you.
Cool.
If you can just do those. These are all the different pattern finishes that one can pretty up the acrylic or G10 or a handle, a blade, or anything where you feel you want to put a pattern on. It's quite possible. It's just a sticker material. The sign writers use it, sign makers use it. We are fortunate that we have a Suma cutter. We get the program from a sign guy, and we have these cut. We cut them ourselves, and it's just a stick on, and then you just bead blast, glass bead, or any medium that you feel is going to do the job. You can blast that through, and it creates that sort of finish in a carbon fiber, a mock carbon fiber finish. A lot of guys seem to like just the plain bead blasted finish, smooth bead blasted. And then of course this one, whereby this is created just by wrapping a bit of O-ring cord around the handle slab and blasting it. And that's what you then end up with. That's cute. That's very, very nice. I like that view where it goes along the spine of the knife. Really very, very different. Very Peter Steyn.